Imagine holding a tiny silver coin in your hand, a coin so small that most people overlook it, drop it, or give it away without a second thought. But what if I told you that same little Roosevelt dime could secretly be worth thousands, even millions of dollars? Yes, a coin that fits between your fingertips could change your entire life. Welcome to a world where a simple dime becomes a treasure, where a mistake at the mint becomes a jackpot, and where hidden secrets inside ordinary pocket change can turn collectors into millionaires. Today, you are not just watching another coin video. You are entering a world of rare errors, mysterious varieties, and coins so valuable that collectors fight to get them. Some of these dimes were found in pocket change, some were rescued from old drawers, and some have stories so unbelievable that they sound like legends, but they are real. In this video, I'm going to reveal the rarest, most valuable, and most shocking Roosevelt dimes ever discovered. The ones that have shattered auction records and turned everyday people into overnight success stories. And trust me, the last coin on this list is so rare, so unbelievably expensive, that most collectors never see one in their entire lifetime. So tighten your seatbelt, because what you're about to learn can change the way you look at every single dime you ever touch. Watch till the end, because your next dime might be the one that makes you rich. Now let's begin with the first and most unbelievable Roosevelt dime ever discovered. The legendary 1975 Noah's Roosevelt dime, the coin so rare, so mysterious, and so valuable that even the most advanced collectors call it a miracle of modern coinage. At first sight, this dime looks just like every other proof dime from the 1970s. It has the same smooth, mirror-like surfaces, the same sharply struck details, the same beautiful finish, and the same classic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt. But the story of this coin becomes truly shocking when you look at the space where the mint mark should be. Proof coins made in San Francisco always carry an S mint mark, a tiny letter that confirms the coin's origin. But on this dime, the mint mark is missing, completely missing, not faded, not weak, not scratched off. It was never added. This wasn't supposed to happen. Proof coins go through a strict process, and mint mark punches are double-checked before any proof dies are allowed to strike coins. But in 1975, a rare mistake occurred. A proof die was prepared without the mint mark, and for reasons still unknown, it was used to strike a very small number of dimes. These coins were then sealed inside proof sets and sold to the public, without anyone realizing that a major minting error had slipped through. For years, nobody knew this rare dime existed. Collectors believed it was impossible because proof coins are inspected individually. But then, one day, a person opened a 1975 proof set and noticed the dime had no S. And suddenly, the story of the 1975 no S Roosevelt dime exploded across the numismatic world. Experts rushed to authenticate it, and when they confirmed the mistake was real, the coin instantly became one of the holy grails of modern U.S. minting errors. What makes this dime even more incredible is its extreme rarity. Only a few examples have ever been discovered, some say 4. Others claim maybe 2 or 3. That's how tiny the population is. Because of that, whenever one appears at auction, collectors go into a bidding war, fighting to own a coin that almost never comes up for sale. And the price? Prepare yourself. Nearly $350,000 for a dime worth only 10 cents on paper. That is the power of rarity. That is the power of a minting mistake no one can ever repeat. But here's the truly thrilling part. In dusty drawers, in estate collections, or in forgotten boxes bought decades ago, someone out there may unknowingly own a proof set containing a dime worth more than a luxury car. So if you ever find a 1975 proof set, no matter how old, dusty, or ordinary it looks, check the dime carefully. If there is no S, then you are not just looking at a rare coin, you are holding a treasure, a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, and your ticket to becoming a millionaire. Now let's move to the second coin on our list, the mysterious. This coin didn't just surprise collectors, it completely shocked the numismatic world. The real power of this coin lies in something so small that most people never notice it, the missing mint mark. In 1968, the U.S. Mint restarted the tradition of striking proof coins exclusively at the San Francisco Mint, and every single proof coin made there was supposed to carry a bright, sharp S on the obverse side, right next to the date. It was a rule, a minting standard, something that could not be ignored. But fate had other plans. Deep inside the San Francisco Mint, During the strict and highly controlled process of making proof dies, an extremely rare error occurred. One die, just one, was prepared without the mint mark. Mint workers were unaware of it. The die was polished, prepared, and placed into production, and before anyone realized what had happened, a small number of proof dimes were struck using this incorrect die. These error coins were silently placed inside sealed 1968 proof sets and shipped out to the public like nothing unusual had happened. No alarms, no warnings, no suspicion. For years, these sets sat untouched in drawers, boxes, closets, and old collections, until one day, a sharp-eyed collector opened a proof set and noticed something strange. The dime was shining like a gemstone, perfectly struck, mirror-like surfaces, frosted devices, everything matched the standards of a premium proof coin. But when he looked at the date, the S mint mark was missing. Not faint, not weak, not damaged. Missing completely. Experts examined it under magnification and confirmed the shocking truth: the dime was struck without a mint mark from the very beginning. That's when the story of the 1968 NOS Roosevelt dime spread like wildfire through the coin community. Collectors couldn't believe it. Dealers were stunned. Auction houses knew they had a potential treasure in their hands. And when this dime finally went to auction, something incredible happened. A tiny 10-cent coin, something that most people ignore or drop in jars, sold for a jaw-dropping $48,000. One dime, 10 cents. That became nearly $50,000. Over the years, as more people understood how extremely rare this error was, the value continued to rise. High-grade examples today can easily reach $40,000 to $50,000, and some have sold for even higher amounts depending on their condition and certification. What makes this story even more fascinating is that only a small number of these 1968 NOS proof dimes have ever been confirmed. This isn't a coin you will find every day. This isn't even a coin most collectors will see once in their entire lifetime. But the possibility still exists that more are out there, hidden in untouched proof sets packed away decades ago, sitting in estate boxes, stored in old family collections, or lying forgotten in dusty cupboards. And that is what makes this coin so exciting. Because anyone, literally anyone, who owns a 1968 proof set might be holding a fortune without even knowing it. So if you ever come across a 1968 proof set, treat it with respect. Open it carefully. Hold the dime under a bright light and examine it closely. If there is no S mint mark, you aren't just looking at a coin. You are holding a legendary minting mistake, a rare treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars, and one of the most valuable Roosevelt dimes ever created. A dime that could truly change your life. Now let's move to the third, rarest and one of the most surprising Roosevelt dimes ever discovered, the incredible and extremely mysterious 1970 NOS Roosevelt dime. This coin is not just rare. It is a symbol of how one small mistake at the mint can create a treasure worth thousands of dollars. And the story behind it is so unbelievable that even experienced collectors were stunned when this coin first came to light. Proof coins are not ordinary coins. They are the highest quality coins produced by the U.S. Mint, specially made for collectors. Every proof dime from 1970 was supposed to be struck at the San Francisco Mint, and every single one of them was required to carry a sharp, clear S mint mark on the front. This mint mark is like a signature. Without it, the coin technically shouldn't even exist. But then came the twist. Deep inside the controlled environment of the San Francisco Mint, during the delicate process of making proof dies, something unexpected happened. A die, possibly just one, was created without the mint mark. No one noticed the mistake. No one caught it in inspection. And before anyone realized something was wrong, this die was used to strike a small number of proof dimes. These error coins were then sealed inside 1970 proof sets and quietly shipped out across the country. No alarms, no warnings, nothing. For years, these proof sets sat in drawers, cupboards, collections, and storage boxes. Nobody knew they contained a coin worth thousands. But then, one day, a collector opened his proof set and spotted something unusual. The dime looked perfect, mirror-like surfaces, frosted details, everything a proof coin should have. But where the S mint mark should be, there was nothing. A perfect blank space. At first, people thought it might be damage or a strike weakness. But when the coin was sent for grading and examined under magnification, the shocking truth came out. The mint mark was never there. This was not an accident after the strike. It was a genuine minting error, a NOS proof dime, and the first one known from 1970. News spread like wildfire. Collectors rushed to check their proof sets. Dealers began scanning their inventories. Auction houses prepared for dramatic bids. And sure enough, the value of this coin soared almost instantly. Today, depending on condition, this rare dime can sell for $3,000 to $6,000. And in high grades, examples have crossed $10,000 at major auctions. A $10,000 dime created by a missing letter no bigger than a grain of sand. But what makes the 1970 Noah's Roosevelt dime truly exciting is the element of mystery surrounding it. Unlike some other dates where the number of surviving Noah's heirs is fairly well known, the population of the 1970 era remains unclear. Some experts believe only a handful exist, stored away in homes, estates, and old collections. That means anyone who owns a 1970 proof set could unknowingly be holding a treasure. Think about that. A tiny dime inside a decades-old proof set, worth more than brand new electronics, more than a month's income, and in some cases more than the price of a small used car. So if you ever come across a 1970 proof set, always take a moment, open it carefully, hold the dime under good light, and look closely for the mint mark. If the S is missing, then you are not just holding a coin. You are holding a rare piece of minting history, a valuable treasure that only a few people on Earth have ever owned, a dime that could change everything. Now let's move to the fourth rare and extremely valuable Roosevelt dime, the astonishing 1999p Roosevelt dime. No mint mark error. Mistakes at the U.S. Mint can create extraordinary treasures. By 1999, the U.S. Mint had perfected every step of coin production. The technology was advanced, inspections were strict, and minting errors of the kind that had made older proof dimes legendary were thought to be nearly impossible. But then, a few small, ordinary-looking Roosevelt dimes began to appear, strikingly normal in every detail except for one thing. The P mint mark was missing. Not faint, not rubbed off, not weakly struck, completely absent. These were coins intended for circulation, meaning they could be found anywhere, in pockets, coin rolls, change jars, or even cash drawers at stores. The moment these coins were discovered, collectors were stunned. How could a mint mark be missing in the era of computerized punching machines and high-precision production? Experts quickly examined the coins and confirmed the truth. The mint mark had never been applied. This wasn't a post-production defect. It was a genuine minting error, extremely rare and virtually impossible to anticipate. A tiny detail, overlooked by technology and human eyes, had transformed a 10-cent coin into a collectible worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. The market reacted immediately. Dealers offered significant sums to anyone who could produce one of these dimes, while collectors scoured every possible source, from coin rolls to old cash collections, searching for this elusive treasure. Because only a handful of these coins were ever confirmed, the value skyrocketed. Depending on condition and grading, a 1999 No. mint mark dime can sell for $500 to $1,000. And in rare cases, pristine examples have crossed $1,500 to $2,000 at auction. A coin that cost just 10 cents at the store could now be worth hundreds of times its original value. A modern numismatic miracle. What makes the 1999 No mint mark dime truly exciting is its accessibility. Unlike older proof set errors that are often locked away in private collections, these coins were struck for circulation, meaning they could still be hiding in coin jars, drawers, or even forgotten wallets. That means anyone, literally anyone, could potentially discover one and instantly possess a rare, valuable coin that collectors fight to acquire. This error serves as a thrilling reminder, even in the age of advanced technology, perfection is never guaranteed. The tiniest oversight, in this case, a missing mint mark, can create history, transform a common coin into a treasure. So next time you handle a 1999 Roosevelt dime, take a moment to examine it closely. Look at the mint mark area near the date. If the P is missing, then congratulations, you have found one of the rarest modern Roosevelt dimes ever produced. Now let's move to the fifth rare and highly valuable Roosevelt dime, the extraordinary 1969 Roosevelt dime Double Die Obverse, a coin that numismatists often describe as one of the most fascinating minting errors of the 20th century. Unlike the Noah's dimes we discussed earlier, the 1969 Double Die Obverse doesn't rely on a missing mint mark to create its rarity. Instead, its value comes from a striking anomaly on the obverse, the front side of the coin. A very small number of dimes were accidentally struck with a double die. This means that the design elements on the coin's front, the date, the letters, and even the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt were unintentionally stamped twice in slightly misaligned positions. The result is a subtle yet unmistakable shadowing effect, where the letters and numbers appear doubled or slightly shifted, and Roosevelt's profile seems to have a faint duplicate image. Double die errors are incredibly prized among collectors because they are rare, visually striking, and cannot be artificially recreated. Each surviving coin tells a story of a tiny mistake at the mint that somehow escaped the careful inspections and quality controls. The 1969's Double Die Obverse is particularly significant because it occurred during a period when minting technology had become very precise, making such mistakes far less common than in earlier decades. That rarity makes each example extremely valuable. The value of this coin reflects both its scarcity and the fascination it holds for collectors, depending on the condition and the prominence of the doubling. A 1969's Double Die Obverse Roosevelt dime can sell for anywhere between $800 to $2,500 high grade or perfectly preserved. Examples can sometimes reach $5,000 or more at major auctions. These coins are not only valuable in monetary terms but also in historical significance, representing an unexpected imperfection that has made its way into collector hands over the decades. What makes this coin even more exciting is the thrill of discovery. 1969's double die dimes were released into circulation. That means some of these coins might still be sitting unnoticed in pocket change, coin jars, old cash registers, or inherited collections. For a lucky collector, spotting the doubling could turn an ordinary dime into a sought-after treasure. So if you ever come across a 1969's Roosevelt dime, don't glance past it. Look closely at the letters, the numbers, and the details of Roosevelt's profile. If you notice even slight doubling or shadows, Roosevelt dimes ever minted. It is a coin that perfectly illustrates how tiny mistakes at the mint can create extraordinary value, turning a simple 10-cent piece into a collectible worth thousands of dollars. Now let's move to the sixth rare and highly valuable Roosevelt dime, the astonishing 1982 Roosevelt dime double die reverse, a coin that remains one of the most sought-after modern minting errors among collectors today. Unlike some of the earlier dimes we've discussed, the 198 double die reverse's uniqueness lies on the reverse side of the coin. During the production of certain dimes at the Denver Mint in 1982, a rare error occurred where the reverse designed, the torch, the olive branch, the oak branch, and all the inscriptions was struck twice in a slightly misaligned position. This caused a visually striking shadowing effect around the letters, numbers, and design elements, making the coin immediately recognizable to sharp-eyed collectors. Double die reverse errors are prized for several reasons. First, they are extremely rare, especially on modern coins, where minting technology had become highly automated and precise. Second, these errors cannot be artificially recreated, meaning every double die coin is an authentic mistake with historical significance. The 1982 Roosevelt dime is especially remarkable because it occurred during an era when minting mistakes were supposed to be nearly impossible, adding to its allure and desirability. Collectors who find this coin often describe the moment as discovering a hidden treasure in plain sight, a normal coin transformed into a rare collectible by a tiny minting anomaly. The value of the 198 double die reverse varies depending on condition and the prominence of the doubling. Coins in circulated condition typically sell for $400 to $1,500, while high-grade, pristine examples, certified by professional grading services, can fetch even more at auctions. Its scarcity, combined with the dramatic visual doubling effect, ensures that demand among collectors remains high. What makes this coin especially exciting is that some of these rare dimes were actually released into circulation. This means that a lucky collector could still find one in coin jars, wallets, old cash drawers, or inherited collections. The thrill of discovery is a major part of its appeal. An ordinary-looking dime could instantly become a prized collectible worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So if you ever come across a 1982 Roosevelt dime, take the time to examine it closely. Focus on the torch, the date, and the inscriptions on the reverse side. Look for subtle shadows, doubled letters, or misalignment. If you spot these characteristics, congratulations, you are holding one of the rarest modern Roosevelt dimes ever produced. It is a coin that is not only valuable but also tells a fascinating story of minting history, proving how a tiny error can transform an everyday 10-cent coin into a true numismatic treasure. Now let's move to the seventh rare and highly valuable Roosevelt dime, the stunning 1995p Roosevelt dime, Double Die Obverse, a modern minting error that continues to captivate collectors and remains one of the most sought-after modern Roosevelt dimes. Unlike some of the older errors we've discussed, the 1995p Double Die Obverse's uniqueness lies on the front side of the coin, also known as the obverse. Here, the date, the word liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," and even parts of Roosevelt's portrait show subtle doubling. This doubling occurs because the die used to strike the coins was misaligned during the minting process. Essentially, the coin was stamped twice with a slight shift between the strikes. The result is a shadow effect, giving the letters and numbers a slightly doubled appearance. Once you know what to look for, this error is unmistakable and instantly recognizable to collectors. What makes this coin particularly exciting is its modern origin. By 1995, the U.S. Mint had highly automated production systems, strict quality inspections, and advanced technology designed to prevent errors. Minting mistakes like the Double Die Obverse were thought to be nearly impossible in such a controlled environment. That makes each surviving 1995p Double Die Obverse a rare and valuable find, a modern numismatic treasure that defied expectations and slipped past one of the most precise minting systems in history. Collector's prize. This coin not only for its rarity, but also because of its visual appeal. The doubling on the date, letters, and parts of Roosevelt's portrait creates a dramatic effect, making the coin stand out immediately from ordinary dimes. High-quality examples with prominent doubling are especially prized and often become centerpiece pieces in collections. The market value of this dime depends on condition and the clarity of the doubling. Circulated examples can sell for $250 to $600, while high-grade or professionally certified coins can fetch $1,200 or more at major auctions. Its rarity and the fact that it is a modern coin released for circulation make it highly sought after, ensuring consistent demand among collectors. The thrill of discovery adds even more excitement. Because this coin was released into general circulation, it could still be hiding in coin rolls, piggy banks, wallets, or old coin jars. A sharp-eyed collector examining coins in everyday change could uncover this error, instantly turning an ordinary dime into a highly collectible treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So if you ever come across a 1995p Roosevelt dime, take the time to examine it carefully. Focus on the date, the letters, and Roosevelt's portrait. Look for subtle shadows, doubled lines, or misaligned features. If you spot any of these signs, congratulations, you are holding one of the rarest modern Roosevelt dimes ever produced. Now let's move to the eighth rare and highly valuable Roosevelt dime, the incredible 1983's Roosevelt dime. No mintmark error, a coin that has stunned collectors and become one of the most fascinating modern minting anomalies in numismatic history. By 1983, the U.S. Mint had achieved highly advanced production standards, using automated systems and strict inspection procedures to ensure nearly perfect coins. Mintmark errors were considered almost impossible, especially on proof coins struck at the San Francisco Mint. Yet, despite these safeguards, a very small number of dimes from 1983 were discovered without the S mint mark on the obverse. These errors are extremely rare and instantly recognizable to collectors who know exactly what to look for. The fact that such a coin exists decades after production makes it both exciting and valuable. The missing mint mark may seem like a tiny detail, but in the world of coin collecting, it completely transforms a dime into a highly desirable collector's item. The 1983's no mint mark error is visually verifiable. There is simply no S, where it should be, right next to the date. Unlike double die errors, which require careful inspection for subtle doubling or shadowing, this mint mark error is obvious once you know what to check. The absence of the mint mark makes the coin rare, collectible, and highly sought after in both circulated and proof condition. Collectors have valued the 1983's no mint mark Roosevelt dime based on its condition and rarity, while higher grade proof coins, especially those certified by professional grading services, can reach $1,500 or more. Its scarcity, historical significance, and the story behind the error contribute to its consistent demand among collectors worldwide. Each time one appears at auction, it generates excitement, as serious collectors know how rare it truly is. What makes this coin particularly thrilling is that some examples could still be hidden today. Proof sets from 1983 may contain this rare error, possibly sitting in old drawers, forgotten family collections, or long untouched coin jars. A few error dimes may even exist in loose circulation, meaning that a lucky collector could discover one in ordinary change. Finding such a coin would instantly transform an ordinary dime into a valuable treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, whenever you come across a 1983's Roosevelt dime, take the time to examine it carefully. Look closely at the obverse near the date for the S mint mark. If the mint mark is missing, congratulations, you are holding one of the rarest modern Roosevelt dimes ever struck. This coin is not only valuable but also historically significant, demonstrating that even in an era of precise minting and advanced technology, errors can still occur. Each coin tells a story of rarity, intrigue, and the excitement that makes coin collecting such a rewarding and thrilling hobby. Now let's move to the ninth rare and highly valuable Roosevelt dime, the extraordinary 1972's Roosevelt dime weak strike full bands error, a coin that has fascinated collectors for decades and remains one of the most collectible error coins in the Roosevelt dime series. The uniqueness of this dime comes not from a missing mint mark or a double die but from a rare combination of a weak strike and fully struck horizontal bands on the torch reverse. In 1972, a small number of dimes struck at the San Francisco Mint experienced a partial misalignment or insufficient striking pressure, causing certain design elements on the coin to appear weak, faint, or partially missing. However, in some of these rare examples, the horizontal lines on the torch, known as the bands, were struck fully and clearly, creating a striking contrast between the sharp bands and the otherwise weakly struck details. This unusual occurrence immediately draws the attention of collectors and makes the coin highly desirable. Collectors prized the 1972's weak strike full bands Roosevelt dime because it represents a perfect blend of rarity, visual uniqueness, and historical significance. Unlike ordinary weak strikes, which are often overlooked or considered minor imperfections, the fully defined horizontal bands make this coin stand out dramatically. Each coin tells a story about the minting process and the tiny anomalies that can occur even under highly controlled production conditions, offering a fascinating glimpse into how errors happen. The market value of this coin reflects both its rarity and the prominence of the strike error, depending on condition, while higher-grade coins with fully defined bands and sharp details can reach $1,500 or more, particularly when certified by professional grading services. Collectors seek these coins not only for their monetary value but also for the story they tell, a glimpse into the inner workings of the U.S. Mint, and the unique surprises that occasionally slip through the system. What makes the 1972's weak strike full bands error particularly thrilling is that some examples were actually released into circulation, piggy banks, wallets, or inherited collections. Discovering one could instantly transform an ordinary dime into a highly valuable and rare collectible, worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the condition and prominence of the strike error. So, whenever you come across a 1972's Roosevelt dime, take the time to examine it carefully. Focus on the torch on the reverse and observe the horizontal bands. If the bands are fully struck while other elements appear weak or faint, you may be holding one of the rarest Roosevelt dime errors ever produced. Now let's move to the 10th rare and highly valuable Roosevelt dime, the extraordinary 1968's Roosevelt dime Double Die Obverse, a coin that has captured the fascination of collectors for decades and remains one of the most sought-after Roosevelt dime errors ever produced. The 1968's Double Die Obverse Roosevelt dime is unique because the doubling appears on the front side of the coin, or obverse, where the date, the word Liberty, and Roosevelt's portrait show subtle but unmistakable duplication. This error occurred due to a misalignment during the die creation process, causing the coin to be struck twice with a slight offset. The result is a shadowed or doubled effect that can be seen on the lettering, numbers, and even some details of Roosevelt's profile. Once you know what to look for, this doubling is instantly recognizable and makes the coin highly desirable to collectors. What makes this coin particularly fascinating is that it was produced during an era when the U.S. Mint had highly advanced quality controls. By 1968, minting technology had improved dramatically, and errors of this kind were supposed to be extremely rare. Yet, a few coins slipped through, creating one of the most collectible errors in the Roosevelt dime series. The rarity, combined with the visually striking doubling, makes this coin a standout in any collection. Collectors prize the 1968's Double Die Obverse not only for its rarity but also for its visual appeal and historical significance. The doubling adds an artistic element to an otherwise ordinary dime, and the story of its creation, a small, minting mistake that escaped strict inspections, enhances its allure. It is a perfect example of how imperfections can turn a common 10-cent coin into a highly sought-after treasure. The value of this coin depends on condition and the prominence of the doubling, while higher grade or professionally certified coins can command prices of $2,000 or more at auctions. The combination of rarity, striking visual characteristics, and collector demand ensures that these coins maintain significant value and are always highly sought after in the market. Roosevelt dime is that some examples were released into circulation. That means they could still be hidden in old coin rolls, piggy banks, wallets, or collections passed down through generations. For collectors, the possibility of discovering one of these rare coins adds an extra thrill. An ordinary dime can suddenly become a numismatic treasure worth thousands of dollars. So, whenever you come across a 1968's Roosevelt dime, examine it closely. Look at the date, the letters, and Roosevelt's portrait. If you notice subtle doubling or a shadow effect, Roosevelt dimes ever produced. And there you have it, the most rare and valuable Roosevelt dimes that every collector dreams of finding. From the classic Noah's proof errors to the modern Double Die Obverse and fully struck band anomalies, each of these coins tells a story of minting mistakes, hidden treasures, and incredible value. Some of these dimes are worth just hundreds, while others can fetch thousands of dollars, proving that even the smallest 10-cent coin can hold unimaginable worth. If you're a collector or just someone fascinated by hidden treasures in everyday change, these Roosevelt dimes are more than coins. They are pieces of history, evidence of how tiny errors can create enormous value. Remember, some of these rare coins might still be hiding in drawers, old coin rolls, or family collections, so keep your eyes open, because you might just stumble upon a dime that could change everything. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more amazing stories about rare coins, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update, and share this video with anyone who loves coins, collectibles, or incredible numismatic stories. Which of these Roosevelt dimes would you most want to find? Comment below. I'd love to hear which coin excites you the most. And don't forget, the world of rare coins is full of surprises, waiting for collectors like you to discover them. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and never underestimate the power of a small dime. It could be worth millions.